Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Great League, showcasing some more fun battles featuring Galarian Weezing on a double fairy backline, classic ABB style. This is a team, or a backline I should say, that I featured during the most recent cycle of Great League. That was last season. I had a lot of fun with it, so it's back for the new season to put in some more work. Weezing will be on the safe swap, and we've got Wigglytuff in the back. I think Wigglytuff, very underrated, because with that normal typing, it handles the Shadow Claw users quite well. The two most notable ones being Sableye and Trevenant. So Wigglytuff will be serving as the closer on this double fairy backline, preferably with a shield advantage. And also on this team, we've got oBSTAGOON to protect our two fairies from the steel types. oBSTAGOON is quickly becoming one of my favorite lead options in the Open Great League. That's just because it has so much play on the lead, and I had so much fun with it yesterday that we are rolling it yet again today on the lead with the two fairies. And before we dive into the featured set of the video, gonna start things off with some bonus battles that I thought were a lot of fun. Here we go. Positive lead Stunfisk, and they meet us with a Sableye, already core broken by oBSTAGOON. You absolutely love to see it. This is what I mean by oBSTAGOON being a very, very underrated and underutilized lead option in the Open Great League. So many teams are weak to it on the lead, and just like that, the Sableye is gone. We've got Wigglytuff, one of the hardest checks to Sableye in the entire meta. And now I do presume they would come back in with the G-Fisk, and we are going to look to get off this Ice Beam here. They absolutely don't need to shield this, and if they try to farm us down, you guys are going to see these charms are really starting to dig in, and they are resisted, and they are trying to go for this farm down. Look at the work that Wigglytuff is putting in. That is insane. But they do have all of the energy known to man. We're going to let this first move go just in case it is a bait. It is not a bait, but we tanked that pretty well. And we do want to preserve some health, and the reason why is because there's no reason for them to stay in like this unless they're weak to a oBSTAGOON in the back. And looky what we have here. The newly buffed Jellicent, they are triple weak to an oBSTAGOON. You absolutely love to see it. This is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. This is insane. oBSTAGOON's about to pop off on the remainder of this team here. Although we are we're getting a little low. We can definitely tank a Surf from this health range. What we want to do is chip this Jellicent within Brutal Swing range. Try saying that 10 times fast, but we do get to this Night Slash here, and of course it does not KO, but it will be doing some meaningful chip damage. And now it is Weezing time. We will easily outpace to a super effective Brutal Swing, and Galarian Weezing hits pretty darn hard in the Great League. We get to this, and we're saying bye-bye to the Jellicent, and we will easily outpace as well against the Stunfisk. Weezing coming in, cleaning up, making it look easy. We get to this, and we say bye-bye to the G-Fisk, and just like that, the double fairy line has come in super clutch. Good game, well played. Had a lot of fun with this team, just as I did last season. But last season we had Medi instead of oBSTAGOON. And speaking of Medi, we've got one here on the lead. That's an awful lead. We go into our Weezing safe swap, and they meet us with an Umbreon. This is one of the reasons why I prefer Play Rough in the Great League. It gives you, obviously, a lot more play against the Dark types, but also against Azumarill. So if you catch an Azumarill on the lead, you're going to have some problems if you don't have Play Rough. So I do think that Play Rough is a must in the Great League, but if you run it as an XL in the Ultra League, you can go Overheat all day. And they hit us with a Psychic. I didn't think they had it, but seeing that they shielded our first Play Rough should have clued me in a little bit, and I kind of was thinking maybe they were crazy enough to run a Psychic Umbreon, but it's fine. As you can see, we survived long enough to really put the pressure on this Umbreon. We'll either take it out or grab two shields from an Umbreon. That's not something you see every day. They lock their Metacham in, and it is Wigglytuff time if I've ever seen it. We can tank a Ice Punch, no problem. They are doing super effective damage with their counters, but these charms are absolutely melting away this Medicham. We will throw up a shield on the next one. We do want to preserve some health. Generally, if you run a Charmer, the more health you can preserve, the better off you are. It just allows you to stay on the field longer, to get off more and more of that heavy charm damage. And they've got a Dugong in the back. Not gonna lie, when I saw that typing, I was thinking Walrein, but it's looking pretty good nonetheless. They made a massive misplay, locking their Medicham in, not knowing what we had in the back. And this is all but over. They can throw whatever they want. oBSTAGOON has very nice bulk. We will tank whatever it is. Water Pulse, sure, no problem. Oh, and they try a last-ditch effort to throw that Psychic Umbreon in. This is exactly why you don't run Psychic Umbreon in any league ever at all for the opposing Dark types. And they realize it was over. That's going to be yet another good game. Well played. Yeah, guys, please do not run Psychic Umbreon ever at any time. It is never appropriate to run Psychic Umbreon. And here we go. Talonflame. This thing causes some problems for the team here a little bit, but we can still hit it for neutral damage with our Night Slashes, and we thoroughly outpace. We just have to be careful of a cheeky Brave Bird and Dip. So we will shield. I notice a lot of Great League Talonflame trainers love that Brave Bird and Dip, but they are not. They want to stay in here for the long haul a little bit. So we're going to put the pressure on with another Night Slash here. They did shield the first one, which was very interesting, and they're shielding the second one. That is very, very interesting. Makes me wonder what they have in the back, but we cannot go completely down on shields. We will tank that, and it is Weezing time yet again. Gonna throw this brutal swing here. I don't think that it will KO. They have not debuffed themselves. I do think that they will survive with a slither of health, and they do. So this Talonflame is absolutely putting in work against our team, forcing our final shield. We don't know what they have in the back, but my goodness, they are trying like heck to get rid of our entire team, it seems, with this Talonflame. It is driving us crazy. We are about to say bye-bye to the annoying Talonflame, and they've got an oBSTAGOON in the back. Okay, so again, where Play Rough comes in, super clutch in the Great League. There are just so many Dark types. Being able to nearly one-shot these Dark types is quite nice, I must say. And I don't believe whatever this is will KO. Likely just the resisted Night Slash. It will not KO. We tried to snipe with Wigglytuff, but I think they were thinking the same thing with their Trevenant as they do. We both simul swap, and looking pretty good for us. Shields are down, but we don't really need the shields. We are healthy enough to survive these seed bombs long enough to either charm down or just barely make it to a Ice Beam. So we are looking pretty good here. Again, why Wigglytuff's so underrated. That normal typing comes in so clutch up against these Shadow Claw users like Trevenant, like Sableye. We take out the Trevenant and we charm down the oBSTAGOON. 3-ball flexing on the opponent, making it look very easy. Good game, well played. Oh, this team was absolutely putting in the work, but not with a lead like this. We've got an Azumarill lead, so again, this is why we run Play Rough in the Great League. You can't do anything to Azumarill if you don't have it, and a lot of them catch. I fell for this a couple of times because you don't... Azumarill, you never really need to catch to avoid damage on Azumarill. They'll usually just soak the damage, as Azumarill is generally the tankiest Pokemon on any team. But I fell for it a couple of times and caught wise to it as the sets wound down, and I didn't fall for it much after this one here. But we are in here with a Skarmory on our Weezing. All we really want to do is just go for these brutal swings. Of course, you want to throw with optimal timing. You'll either want to throw on 1, 4, or 7 of your fast moves. That is the proper timing if you run a 2-turn move versus a 3-turn move. And we got a little impatient here. I don't recommend ever doing this because we basically have locked our oBSTAGOON back in onto that Azumarill. So this is very risky. It's just a minor misplay on my end. I don't recommend doing it. Got a little impatient. We knew that it was likely that we were going to be locked on it anyways, but you never know. You always want to play optimally. But we did get the oBSTAGOON boost. That's always nice. Not helping us too much against this Azumarill, but it kind of is. Holy smokes, oBSTAGOON's putting in the work. We can't quite make it to another one. But oBSTAGOON, with the boost assist, put in a lot of work on that Azumarill. So now what we're going to do, we are still up a shield. Going to come back in, or come in for the first time with our Wigglytuff. We do tank one move. We don't know what they have in the back. I'm really hoping this is not double steal. I've been seeing a lot of Azumarill double steal. And we will shield out the second one. Like I said, whenever you run a Charmer, preserving health is quite nice, especially when they've got a tanky dark type like Umbreon lurking in the back. Oh, you love to see it if you run double fairies on your team. And this is another Psychic Umbreon. This is insane. I can't believe people are actually running Psychic Umbreon. I think it is well worth the Elite TM to rid Umbreon of that weakness. Psychic just kind of falls flat. Does not help you whatsoever. And we charm down the Azumarill. Wigglytuff charming down another backline, sweeping in dominant fashion. That's going to be yet another good game. Well played. Had a lot of fun with those bonus battles, but we now move into the featured set of the video, and here we go. We've got a Noctowl. Pretty neutral lead here for us. We don't win this, but we can put in work with our Night Slashes, and our counters are doing neutral damage to the Noctowl. You would never know because it's so darn bulky, but we're just going to stay in here a little bit here, and we will tank the first Sky attack. Of course, we definitely tank one, but we won't tank another one, as we can see here with our health. So we will shield and look to get off another Night Slash. We want to get this thing relatively low, preferably within Brutal Swing range, but they aggro swap into at the time I didn't see it, but it's a Shadow Machamp. So this is fine. We threw that because we kind of needed to gather our thoughts. You generally don't come in with your hardest counter. That throws me off quite a bit when people do that, but we've got just the answer to it. And just like that, the Machamp is gone, and we are waiting to see what they have. Well, they do come back in with the Noctowl, and we will shield. Not sure what else they could have in the bag. I think at the time I was thinking they might have had double fighters, so we do throw up that shield to preserve some health. And it's not double fighters, but works just the same if you've got two fairies on your team. It's an Altaria. We're going to put the pressure on, grab one of those shields, and look to put in work with these super effective charms. There's no way on earth that they are farming us down, and they realize that, so they finally throw some energy here, and we're looking pretty good. Wigglytuff put in a lot of work with those charms. All we need to do is get to back-to-back Brutal Swings. We don't even need to play rough at this point. One will get the shield, and the next should KO. Because Weezing just hits that hard. As bulky as Altaria is, a Brutal Swing from Weezing will absolutely allow us to say bye-bye to the Altaria. And just like that, Galarian Weezing has closed the game this time. That's going to be yet another good game. Well played. Like I said, I had so much fun with the oBSTAGOON lead yesterday. I had to give it another go for reasons like this. People are leading with Sableye quite a bit this season, which is why oBSTAGOON on the lead is quite strong. You pick up a lot of G-Fisk as well, a lot of Trevenant. oBSTAGOON lead very strong right now. And they do tank our first Night Slash. This is a Shadow, so it does do quite a bit more. We will shield the oBSTAGOON. There could be a Steel type in the back. It's a very common pairing to see a Sableye lead with at least one Steel in the back, but the fact that they let that go down so easily makes me wonder. Now, yeah, they've got a Shadow, Charm A9, and a Shadow Marowak, a triple Shadow team. Jamie Finn would be so proud. So very interesting. We actually obviously can hit this thing for super effective, which is why Galarian Weezing can be so solid on the safe swap. Gonna go for yet another Brutal Swing. So spammy with Fairy Wind, and we grab both of those shields. That is amazing. And I thought about shielding this, but I'm thinking, knowing what they have left, Wigglytuff up a shield should do just fine. It is the Shadow Bone, and we knew that our oBSTAGOON was healthy enough, could come back in and really put the pressure on. Weezing did the job, grabbed the shields. oBSTAGOON is going to put in some work here. We do get off a Night Slash. We get the boost. And they are at a potential Fire Blast, which is interesting, but we were not overly concerned. It is the Fire Blast. We were not overly concerned with taking it out. We just basically wanted to get it within Charm range, or Charm down range, I should say. And speaking of Charm down, that's a Charm off against these two Charmers here. It looks like our Wigglytuff has the edge. We've got them into the red. We are still in the yellow. And the play here, Charm down and play rough the low health Alolan Marowak. Although resisted, this will be enough to allow us to say bye-bye to the Shadow Marowak. And just like that, Wigglytuff has swept the game yet again. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Like I said, ran this team last season. We ran it with Medicham on the lead. I was enjoying the oBSTAGOON lead variation this season quite a bit. But we've got a Powder Snow A9. Probably could have stayed in there a little longer. But we do go into our Galarian Weezing here, and we do get through this play rough. Oh, that does big damage on the Shadow Swampert. The question is, can we farm this thing down? We're certainly going to try. But it's going to come at a cost here because they are at back-to-back Hydro Cannons, which is unfortunate. That's such a problem with Swampert. Can't quite get that farm down before they get off both of those Hydro Cannons, grabbing both of our shields. But I know that energy on Galarian Weezing can be quite valuable. Gonna go for this play rough here, and we grab a shield back from them. And gonna try and make it to another one. Really hoping that I live this Weather Ball here. That would be very nice. But no such luck, it takes us out. So now we're going to come in with Wigglytuff. And not sure what they could have in the back, so we're going to have to catch a move here. And hope like heck that Wigglytuff can beat whatever is remaining. I really have no clue what they could have in the back. Dazzling Gleam doesn't KO. oBSTAGOON hangs on long enough to get off this cross chop, and I don't anticipate that they will shield this. And it is enough to KO, and they've got a Trevenant in the back, so really didn't have a clue. I didn't think that they would make themselves ABA weak to a potential fire type, but here we are. This is not winnable because we are just not healthy enough to tank two Seed Bombs long enough to charm them down. The play is to just charm them down. There's no way that we're making it to two moves. And unfortunately, we just could not get this one done. That is unfortunate. That darn Swampert. Good game, well played. Oh, I was having a lot of fun with this team. And all three of these Pokemon, very underrated and underutilized. And here we go. Altaria lead. So when it comes to this new season of Go Battle League, whenever you see an Altaria lead, it's pretty safe to read that there is a Steel type in the back. And this season, it seems to be Bastion. For some reason, that seems to be the Steel type of choice this season, along with an Azumarill. I've been seeing a lot of that particular team. So that's what I'm reading here. I don't know if somebody featured it or made a featured Altaria, Bastion, Azumarill, but I've been seeing it quite a bit. So this is fine. We do draw out the Bastion, and we are just getting off as many brutal swings as we can with optimal timing, of course, and gonna go for another brutal swing. And because we're making a hard team read, we're fine to lock our oBSTAGOON in. We wanted to draw back out the Azumarill and try and put in as much work as we can. We're not concerned with this Altaria here. So we're just going to look to chip it down a bit with some Night Slashes. We wanted to chip that Azumarill down so that we could perhaps charm it down with our Wigglytuff. That's what we were trying to do, but they come back in with the Altaria. And that's fine. We did shield one Sky Attack, gonna let this one go. We do survive. And we're going to look to get off another Night Slash here. Not sure what they'll want to do. They shield for some reason, which is very odd. They're protecting their Altaria. And we live long enough to get to another Night Slash oBSTAGOON. So clutch in the Great League. And we grab another shield. What in the world? So maybe it's not an Azumarill. That's what I'm thinking at this point. Gonna throw Weezing in here to soak this damage. They were gonna have a really tough time farming us down. And now it is all up to Wigglytuff. We do Charm it down. We know that they have that low out Basti, and they did have an Azumarill, so I really don't know why they were protecting that Altaria so much. I don't know, maybe they were reading that I don't know, maybe they were making a team read, but it works to our advantage. All we have to do now is to not have them catch our move. We're not in any rush to throw our charge move, and there, they tried to catch it there. We charmed down the Bastiodon, and we've got loaded energy for the Azumarill. We only need one. They just dumped their energy. We shielded their last move. And now we just need a couple of charms to seal the deal up against the Azumarill. Wigglytuff coming in clutch yet again. Charming down the Bastiodon and the Azumarill. You love to see it. Good game, well played. I'm telling you guys, I might just see how many team comps we can do that feature an oBSTAGOON lead, because this thing was putting in work. And here we go. Toxapex. This is definitely not something you want to see if you have two fairies in the back. Kind of a core breaker here, to be honest. But we're going to make do here. We can just go for these Night Slashes, and we do intend to shield whatever they throw. A Sludge Wave could be quite catastrophic, as this thing is quite tanky. But we do thoroughly outpace, and these Night Slashes are absolutely adding up. Like I said, we're going to shield whatever this is. Could be a Gunk Shot. They built well past, and it is! They built well past the Sludge Wave. I didn't know if they were just overloading for whatever reason, but we correctly shielded that, and they've got a Shadow, Bite, a Alolan Raticate, and they promptly top left. Not sure what else they had in the back, but maybe it was not looking good for them as they do top left. Good game, well played to our opponent. And that is the team, my friends. I am a big fan of double fairies. Like I said, I ran this team last season, but ran it with Medicham on the lead. We did not see nearly as many Sableye leads last season as we are seeing now this season. So I decided to make an adjustment. I wanted to run this team again because I had so much fun with it, and it is quite effective. So we just made a minor tweak, and like I said, I had so much fun with the oBSTAGOON lead yesterday. I said, well, why don't we just swap Medi out for oBSTAGOON? And would you know, guys, it put in the work. I had a lot of fun, and guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.